this is extremely nostalgic because this is where I filmed my first video. 18 years old, 23 now. You guys probably don't care about this, I know, but it's pretty dope to me, okay? In like the same yoga position, talking about similar topics, right? But that's not what this video is about. This one is about the 3 evil dopamine things that are blocking from your goals. Dopamine, my friends, are blocking you from your goals. This is something I see in my life, and this is something, dude, I see in just modern people's lives. Like, I was gonna say men at first, but bro, it's everybody. Everybody is addicted to dopamine, and it's kind of strange. We live in a weird time where we have so much knowledge, so much access. I mean, your goals can be closer than ever before, but unfortunately, due to the high amount of dopamine that we consume on a daily basis, that is blocking us from our goals, achieving our true purpose, and making our dreams into reality. So what are these 3 things that will go, what are these 3 dopamine blockages that I will go into? But first, let's discuss dopamine. So dopamine is like your fuel for the day. You start off the day, think of it like a game bar, right? Start off the day with a little bit of dopamine. How much dopamine, right? Start the day with a certain amount of dopamine that you can take in. So let's say, and this is I've done this before, and I've done this quite often, so it's okay, all right? This is a safe space. Let's say you wake up in the morning, you're on your phone. Okay, you already kind of messed up. You're on your phone, scrolling on Instagram. Boom, you just got a little shot of dopamine. Now think of every little shot of dopamine you get. Think of that shot of dopamine taking away from the hard work that you could be putting into. There's something that people say. They say things like, oh, I can't go to the gym, I can't really work hard at my job, I can't really chase my passion, I'm just always tired, I'm always depressed. You see this a lot in the modern day. I'm depressed, I'm so depressed. And we can sit here and we can be like, oh, you're a PUSSY, right? Why don't you just get up and go for the run anyways? And why don't you just do this? But the truth is, man, a lot of it is just dopamine. A lot of it is just dopamine. It's kind of crazy. If I overload you with dopamine, you actually turn depressed because you can't produce dopamine again. Dopamine actually, so the word dope comes from the word dopamine. So dopamine is like a drug, right? But it's a good drug. See, what we're supposed to use dopamine for is hard work. So when we work hard, we're supposed to get this little shot of, I feel good. Ooh, I feel great right now. Wow, I just worked hard. I feel amazing. That's what's supposed to happen. But we're getting cheap dopamine now. So wake up in the morning, scroll on your phone. It's not that bad, maybe you needed to wake up, whatever. It's cool. You move on to your day. 2 hours later, scroll on your phone a little bit more. A couple hours later, play some video game. A couple hours later, you may watch some adult content. I'm in the public right now. I'm in the public area, so I can't say what I want to say, and maybe that's better for YouTube, but you know what I'm saying, right? You watch some adult content. Little dopamine. A little bit more dopamine. Actually, a large amount of dopamine from that. So right now, before you even finished your day, your dopamine levels are like halfway. Now let's say you do some good habits, right? You work out, that will give you a little bit of dopamine, but you didn't hit the gym like you were supposed to. You didn't hit the gym as hard as you could have. You didn't work on that task as hard as you could have. You don't even like reading. You don't like reading no more. Reading interests you, but eventually you don't even like reading no more. Eventually, you don't even like talking to people no more. Eventually, some of the key life-building tasks that you were doing, you don't like doing it anymore. And this is the problem with cheap dopamine, guys. If we keep letting cheap dopamine seep into our lives, it will actually block us from reaching our goals, because you need a little bit of enjoyment when you're doing the hard things. How do we enjoy hard work? It all stems from dopamine. So let's get into the three biggest cheap dopamine hits that you can get. Like how I said previously, social media. We all knew this was going to come up. This is a big one. And this is one you can easily overdose on. I mean, dude, sometimes I'm just scrolling on shorts, and it's like you're a monkey, man. It's literally like your monkey brain is activating. Our technology has risen higher than what we can adapt to. So we're not all this technology, man. This is like a portal. This is like some futuristic magic technology. I don't know how this shit works. You probably don't either. The point is that this technology is far precede what we believed was possible, which is a great respect to human endeavor. But when we have these corporations using this technology in order to zap as much time as possible, I mean, guys, they have literal scientists, people with PhD, tech geniuses figuring out how can we keep this person on this app for as long as possible. So that's what I want you to recognize. It's not like you're a bad guy for scrolling. It's not like you're a bad guy for doom scrolling. It's more about the awareness of, this is a manufactured technology engineered to steal your time. Now I'm gonna check the storage. There's some good content. There's some good videos. There's some good shorts. There's good content out there that can inspire you to do better in life, to do better in every area, to really self-improve yourself to the next level. But most of it is trash. I mean, guys, most of it is trash. Most of it is just for entertainment. Most of it is just to get you to watch the whole video. Recently, I've been jumping and doing backflips and shit in my shorts because I just want people to watch the short longer. If I'm just sitting here talking like I'm doing now, people usually aren't gonna watch the whole thing unless I make a really good point or whatever. And even those shorts don't do that well. But it's all about those hits of dopamine. So you have to really watch your consumption. Watch your consumption. Look at your screen time. How much time are you spending on Instagram? How much time are you spending on Facebook, Snapchat? Guys, I really recommend, if you're not building your social media, and I recommend you do build your social media, but if you're not into that stuff, just delete the app. There is nothing for you there. I'm trying to build my social media, and I don't have Instagram on my phone. So chew on that, right? I don't have Facebook on my phone. That's saying I don't go on Instagram, I don't go on Facebook, but I use the website, and I find that cuts the scrolling in half, because they always make the websites way more shittier than the apps. Another thing you can do is just put your phone on black and white. Simply put your phone on black and white. You put your phone on black and white, man, you are only going to consume content that you actually enjoy. You'll be surprised how much colors actually influence what you enjoy. That's why Mr. Beast and all these other YouTubers' thumbnails, man, they're saturated. I've done it before too. They're saturated to hell. They even edit the shirts so the shirts can be blue. Maybe Mr. Beast is wearing a gray shirt. They edit the shirts so the shirts can be a brighter color. And these are the guys who are at the top of their game, millions and millions of subscribers. So if they figured that out, what about the people who are engineering the app? What about the people who are getting $500K, $1 million salaries to create these apps? The people who go to school for these types of things. So realize, guys, that your dopamine is getting hijacked, your pleasure system is getting hijacked, and if the app is free, you, my friend, are the product. The next one is adult content. So we talk about PMO, NoFap, senior retention. Talk about that a lot on this channel. And I don't know if you guys think I'm a saint, but I'm not. Okay, I'll put it like that and I'll land it right there. But I've never struggled. I've never had like an addiction. But a lot of you guys are addicted. And if you look at the brain of a meth addict and you look at the brain of a person who is addicted to adult content, they are similar. They are the same. And another thing is, I don't want you guys to like hate yourself or get so depressed. Once again, you're getting engineered, right? You're getting programmed into watching this content. So when you scroll, and this is why it all connects, when you scroll on something like a social media app, what do you see? Right? You don't even have to click like. I don't like any of these. I don't follow any of these people, but even I see it. The stuff, right? The stuff that we like. It's cool. It's fine. Do your thing, but you gotta start avoiding this. If you do follow people who are producing that type of content, unfollow them. I don't know what level you're at, you know what I'm saying? But that's something that, unfollow them. That's something that I shouldn't even have to talk about. And then if you're at a deeper level where you're paying for certain subscriptions, once again, I'm in the public, literally no one's here. It's crazy. They must have saw me filming the video and they was like, but if you're paying for certain subscriptions, you need to delete that. Guys, you don't understand what type of level you are extracting. You're literally extracting your manliness, your reason for being, and women are very addicted to this stuff too. So women as well, they don't get talked about enough. But everybody, stop watching this adult content. Stop giving it so many views, so many likes, because it's ruining our population, it's ruining our generation, and it's just over-sexualizing society. You need to stop over-sexualizing society because it trickles down to children. And, I guess you could talk about it on YouTube now, but certain files that aren't getting released from another guy, we start to see these crazy people, these really wild people do these certain things. So you gotta watch. You gotta watch out for that, right? So try not to sexualize society. I believe that if you are consuming adult content, you're kind of contributing to that function of the over-sexualization, and it's just gross, man. It's just gross. Try to look at yourself in the mirror after you do that activity. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Ask yourself, man, would the best version of myself do this? Would my best version of myself do this? Do you feel like the best version of yourself doing it? It takes away your drive too. It takes away your drive to actually find relationships, to actually have interactions. It just takes away that drive to actually work hard, to actually, put that energy in your passion, put that energy in the gym. So, get away from that. That's probably the thing that's going to give you the most amount of dopamine for the little amount of effort. You gotta think about it, man. Kings have not seen as many naked women as like the average man. So think about what that does to your mind. Is that like that type of stuff is definitely taking away your driving. You can't convince me otherwise. I know there's some guys who say I do it. You know, you got that Wolf of Wall Street saying I do it 5 times a day. You got to keep your mind zen. But I think it does the opposite. I think it makes your mind go a little bit crazy and makes your goals seem further and further off in the distance. What is the last one? The last one is food. Food is delicious. Food is tasty. Now this one you guys may be like, click off. It's not that important. But the same exact thing is happening with the food industry. So the same exact thing that's happening on social media, it's happening with the food industry. Meaning that there are literal scientists, guys, engineering Doritos to taste as tasty as possible. Okay, so with food, you eat it and you just feel so good. And so many people, especially with the American diet, so many people just eat for taste. Oh, why'd you eat it? Because it tastes good. They don't look at the calories, they don't look at the protein, they don't look at none of that stuff. They eat it simply because of the taste. Now, first off, you have to stop doing that. I'm not saying you gotta count your calories, but actually at least look at the nutritional facts on the back of the thing that you are eating. You'll be very surprised that a lot of things have 40 grams of sugar, eating a Reese's Pieces, like 40 grams of sugar, 200 calories. Then you wonder, oh, that's why I have that belly. That's why I'm a little bigger, you know, around the waist. Okay, so food is also engineered to make us a little fat, a little lazy. You know, sometimes when I eat like ice cream before a workout, I don't feel that great. The pump's amazing, but I don't feel that great. I don't have enough. So watch your food content, watch your cheat meals, and ask yourself that, do I really need this? It's even like, okay, think of food as fuel, because that's actually what it is. That's actually what it is. It actually is fuel. So is it gonna fuel your workout? Is it gonna fuel your day? I'm not saying you gotta count calories and you don't gotta eat cheat meals, guys. I eat cheat meals, okay? I eat, you know, stuff sometimes. But I always look at the calories. I always know how many calories this has. How many grams of protein does this have? Or at least I think about it, right? It's about installing that into your mind. And how this all relates to it, that's a whole nutritional rant, but how this all relates. There. How this all relates to dopamine is that when you eat something, gives you that shock of dopamine, and that takes away the hard work that you can be putting in. I'm telling you, man, if you just install a few dopamine blockers, if you just listen to this list and you're like, you know what, Dante, I'm gonna eat a little cleaner. You know what, Dante, I am gonna stop watching porn. You know what, Dante, I am gonna stop scrolling, right? I'm gonna slow it down, right? You're gonna put in more work, like 100%. That's no question about it, because you're gonna need to replace that dopamine with something else. The next one is drugs. So there's certain drugs that gives you a hint of dopamine. Like me, I used to smoke a lot of weed. Actually, we won't even do that one. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Many videos coming soon. I kind of like this background, this environment. Maybe I'll make more videos here. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Online personal training. My online personal training service is up, so please check that out. If you want any online personal training, we have limited spots, so just email me, maybe DM me on Instagram, and we'll see if you're a right fit. But besides that, that's it. See you in the next one.